Last week, I had a sit down with Eric Holder on these issues. We met with the White House policy staff. I've been working with MoveOn.org and the Center for American Progress. And I don't think this is typical bipartisanship where you split the difference on someone else's bad idea. This is a genuine coming together on core values.
Hi, I'm Nick Gillespie with Reason TV, and today we're talking with Matt Kibbe. He's the president of FreedomWorks and a best-selling author of, most recently,
Don't Hurt People and Don't Take Their Stuff.
Well, those are words to live by. It's a Libertarian Manifesto. Let's talk about criminal justice reform right now, because this is something that is in ways that libertarians love to talk about. It's blowing apart the old left-right political spectrum and traditional coalitions. What's going on there, and how are you guys working to reform criminal justice issues?
Yeah, I think a great demonstration of the old rules not applying anymore is look at the co-sponsors of the Smarter Sentencing Act, which deals with mandatory minimums and other over-federalization of nonviolent crimes. And it's guys like Ted Cruz and Mike Lee, and of course Rand Paul and Jeff Flake, also with Patrick Leahy and Sheldon Whitehouse, very radical progressive Democrats. And I don't think either side has come together in some sort of compromise position. They all agree that there's an over-criminalization of American life. They agree that the federal government has overstepped its bounds, and for well-meaning reasons, they were going to get tough on crime, but the perversions as a result of that are things that both parties now agree need to be fixed.
So, I mean, we're in an age of, like, supposedly intractable gridlock, and where partisan differences are so harsh that Republicans and Democrats don't even speak to each other. They don't even spit on each other. They hate each other so much. How are these groups, kind of Tea Party Republicans or libertarian-leaning Republicans and progressive lefties, why are they coming together now?
Well, I think there's a strong civil libertarian streak that's coming from the bottom up right now. Washington has analyzed this problem for 20 years. The papers have been written, the data's been crunched, and yet nothing happens. What's different is from the grassroots, there's a push to get Washington more out of these types of issues, and I think both parties are responding to that. But I think it comes from in this broader context. There was a time when Rand Paul was talking about this stuff and people thought he was a little bit nutty, but he was listening to the American people instead of the Washington experts.
And then I guess events like Ferguson, even if it's not about sentencing problems, but it kind of raises these issues of criminal justice reform. Yeah,
I think there's a lot of reasons to be excited. What's weird about this from a FreedomWorks perspective, last week I had a sit down with Eric Holder on these issues. We met with the White House policy staff. I've been working with MoveOn.org and the Center for American Progress. And I don't think this is typical bipartisanship where you split the difference on someone else's bad idea. This is a genuine coming together on core values, innocent until proven guilty.
And these guys, as well as, as FreedomWorks and MoveOn and whatnot, you're forcing the mainstream to actually go where you guys already are.
Yeah, and I think that's what's different. I mean, from a FreedomWorks perspective, we're getting the push from our constituents, our activists. They want to do something.
Talk a little bit about other areas where these kinds of unconditional, or not unprecedented, but odd new coalitions are forming. Are there other issues like this?
Well, I think the overall trend is skepticism of Washington, and I see that some on social issues like the definition of marriage. Issues like faith-based initiatives, things where big government conservatives ran the table during the Bush administration. There's a lot of people of faith that are realizing that Washington, D.C. is not the place to solve these problems. Letting the federal government into your marriage is a lot like letting a vampire in the house. It's just a bad idea. You see it on education, this broad uprising against Common Core standards. Washington, D.C., top down, the smartest people in the room dictating how things should be, doesn't work for families, it doesn't work, communities work better.
Well, we will leave it there. Matt Kibbe, president of FreedomWorks, thanks so much for talking to Reason TV about criminal justice reform.
Thanks.
For Reason TV, I'm Nick Gillespie.